Wing Goodsell. I've had time to clear my head and came back to my case docket and made the connection. It's regarding 14. 14 is the motion for entry of default to have Judge Evelyn First, recuse herself. That's what's being denied. And so apparently Judge First is still on the case. So yeah, this is not an act of treason. So I'm gonna have to sneeze. Hold on. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm gonna redo this video and take back the act of treason. And so even though I emailed Judge First saying, what's going on? I don't understand. It still applies because she's going to consider my recent submission. That's what this means, is that Judge First has given word to the clerk to deny it. It should have been Judge First who should have denied it. So I'm confused as to what's really going on here. So maybe my email is justified, but it's not for what I submitted yesterday. And so this is for back on February 4th, 2020, when I had previously sent in the motion for summary judgment based on Evelyn First not doing her job. And so that has been denied for the entry of default. And so it's still, you can't really order a denial of the motion. This is weird and awkward. Judge First should have been the one to step forward and say, motion for summary judgment and memorandum in support filed by the plaintiff is denied. That's the one she should have denied. And so, yeah, this is unusual, to say the least. Ann Morgan, Chief Deputy, this is a weird case, to say the least. My goodness, to say the least, to say the least. So yeah, let me catch you up, as you may be the first time viewer to my channel, as YouTube's analytics tell me that the majority of the people who come to my videos are first timers. So you aren't going to my other videos for the most part, and so you're clueless that I have over 500, 600 videos. So yeah, I can't update you on every single detail, obviously. I did have the main video on the site for you to look at that is an hour 15-minute summary. So that gives you a clue as to why I can't keep repeating everything for you. I've Mormon, born and raised, 50 years. I sued the Mormon Church, Corporation of the President. Docket 219 CV 00711 for racketeering RICO Act. If you don't know what RICO is, you haven't been watching your R-rated movies, have you, Mormons? The good guys are always going after the bad guys for racketeering. particularly mafia and crime organizations. And so, yes, the church is involved in some major criminal activity, and just against me, not just also against you guys. All of you guys can sue the church for your individual abuses by the church. It's not just the sexual abuse advertisement for law help for Mormons who have been sexually abused, as I'm seeing on MSNBC. And it's on a regular basis on MSNBC. That's awesome, guys. Go get them. But I should be finished here. And so my email was to ask Judge First, are you still working? Are you still going to give an order in this case? Or why hasn't it been referred to another judge? And so this, now I understand. It's regarding 14, which 14 was when I entered default for Judge First not responding to the motion for summary judgment. And so the clerk has denied that with my recent filing, asking for, let me get the full title for you. Let me pull up the document. Motion 2 for final default judgment, entry of default, strike motion to dismiss, disbarment and disciplinary action. This is against the clerks, or the counsel for the defense, which is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They had the opportunity to hide and just remain silent this whole time, hoping that the case would be delayed and referred to another judge as soon as Judge First ends her term, because she got terminated. Her last day on the job is the 30th of April. And she's been silent this whole time. And I'm going, what the hell's going on? Why isn't she giving the order for service of process so that the church can be served, the church lawyers? What's going on? I don't understand. Back in 2006, when I sued the church in the state of Utah, the judges Kimball and then Benson allowed the service of process. Why is this different? What's going on? And then I found out Judge First got fired for allowing Gaddy versus COP to commence. And so I'm like, what? My judge that got assigned to me had been terminated and was recused on the other case? How many other cases has she been denied, and why is she given a new one when she's been terminated and is going to be leaving? And so that was very disturbing. And so thus the motion for summary judgment, because she refused to recuse herself. I gave her a second opportunity. She had the first opportunity to recuse herself because she got terminated and was assigned a brand new case, as her days were now numbered. And so she didn't recuse herself. She took the case. Then I motioned for her to be recused when I found out that she had been terminated. And so clearly she's not going to be able to think clearly on this case. She refused to give the order. And so I said, okay, summary judgment then. If you're not going to allow me to serve the church, then you have taken the case yourself. And you are now acting as counsel and judge on behalf of the defense. And so I want a summary judgment. And she refused to reply within the time frame, and so I then motioned for an entry of default. And now, on the 21st of April, let's see, it was 41 minutes after I submit the, what did I call it again? The motion for final default judgment, entry of default, strike motion to dismiss, disbarment, and disciplinary action. She then, the clerk then gives the order denying motion for entry of default, RE 14, which was the February 4th motion for entry of default, not the one I just submitted 41 minutes earlier. Holy crap. And so, yeah, as you can see, the lawyers for the church, Swen R. Swenson and Taylor John Hadfield, gave notice of appearance on the 7th of April, 2020. That was 2 months and 3 days after February 4th. So you can see that, well, I had figured out the waiver of summons during this time from February 4th to when they gave notice of appearance. They were 11 days late. 11 days late. Because I had found the waiver of summons rule and followed the rule and served them, bypassing Judge First, who was refusing to give the order herself. And so church had been served. And 11 days late, they appear to the court saying, "Here we are." And then on the 10th, 3 days later, on Friday, Good Friday, the day when the dismissal of Jesus is celebrated, the death, Christmas, death of Jesus, dismissal, they filed the motion to dismiss and memorandum in support. But they forgot something. There's supposed to be certification of service, which is on every generalized form, the template form for motions. You're supposed to show that you had served the other party. For both sides, they have to show they've served, except for waiver of summons by the plaintiff. And in my motion yesterday, I put in there the exact details from my receipt about my having served the defense counsel. And they confirm it by giving notice. Hey, we're lawyers, we're going to represent the church. Confirming my receipt, and they're 11 days late. Because the receipt has the date and the time, as well as the location of the postal service I utilized. And so 11 days late. Thus, the entry of default I put in yesterday. And so when I saw this today, I'm like, holy crap, they denied that? And what about the other? Why didn't they submit the motion that I put in? Isn't that supposed to be on here? Because you see, motion for summary judgment, motion for entry of default, motion to dismiss. You see a pattern. They're supposed to put that on the docket, what I submitted yesterday. They didn't. Except for, they're saying, hey, we're denying the motion for entry of default. And so, that confused me. But I'm starting to see a possible answer that Judge First is still on the case. Wow. And so I think we're just going to have to wait now for Judge First to give her order in regards to their motion to dismiss, and having not given it to me so that I could not give a reply, which I put in my motion as a reply to their motion to dismiss. And so from the evidence that we both presented, Judge First is now in the position to make an order. And what will be that order? To proceed to a trial? I haven't been served their dismissal, so I wasn't able to respond specifically to their dismissal accusations or claims. And that's what I told the judge in the motion yesterday, which I followed the rules and served the defense counsel for through the process under coronavirus conditions that was outlined by Judge First. So hold on, this is going to be a wild and bumpy ride, but I couldn't, regarding 14, wow, I didn't catch that at first. I was confused. So yeah, but I was asking questions as what's going on, and that I think this will be made clear once Judge First gives her order. And I don't know how long it's going to take for her to give an order. And her order will be to dismiss for, as the church's lawyers submitted, or to order final default judgment for the plaintiff, striking the motion to dismiss and recommending disbarment and disciplinary action for the counsel of the defense. And the entry of default was supposed to be done. This motion was supposed to be put on the docket with the entry of default on the docket, with the final judgment or final default judgment on the docket, and the disbarment and disciplinary action on the docket, and the strike motion to dismiss on the docket. She totally, they're keeping that from you guys. And so that's why I was confused, is why isn't my motion on the docket? Don't hide this from the public. That's what I put in my complaint, is that this must be made public to protect my life. If they don't put it on the docket, my life's in danger, because the church is trying to have me killed. So, I'm confused. So, yeah, this is an unusual case, and be prepared for an unusual outcome.